The club has thrown me under the bus and someone doesn't want me in the club. These are just some of the quotes that Mohamed Salah gave to the press after the Leeds performance. This is now the biggest indicator that Liverpool Football Club is in a crisis. We are in the worst position we've been in for years. We've been the club that have laughed at other teams like Arsenal, like Manchester United currently, because it's so toxic. But this is showing me that your star man is coming out publicly, berating the manager, berating the higher ups in the club. We are in such a bad place, not just on the field, but off it, which really gets me worried for where this club is currently going and for the manager's safety in the job. Now, I know a lot of you are Arne Slot out, some of you are Arne Slot in. So in this video, I'm going to break down who's right, who's wrong, whether Salah's right, whether Arne Slot's right, whether the club are right, what he said in the interview, how he's done it. I want to know your opinions in the comments down below, as what's currently going on is not acceptable. With the massive quote being, the club has thrown me under the bus. Who's he implying that is? Is that Arne Slot? Is that some of the higher ups like Richard Hughes? Is that the fans? Is that some of his teammates? Who's he implying that's throwing him under the bus? Because to then say someone doesn't want him in the club, that's a massive statement to be making, especially in a time like this. Is this directed at Arne Slot because he hasn't picked him? Is this directed at his coaching staff because they're not able to control an ego of Mohamed Salah when they're not picking him? Is this directed at the club as they potentially see a bigger sell-on value with his name, and also that I believe they weren't that thrilled about giving him the big contract that they gave him in the summer, but they couldn't afford not to after the season that he just had? Is this directed with the other players? Are his teammates fed up with him moaning, throwing his weight around? We don't know what's going on behind closed doors in the dressing room, on the training ground. Maybe some of them are sick of him. Maybe some of the new mega signings aren't that thrilled with him, like Wirtz, like Isak. We just don't know. I don't believe that's the answer. But at this moment in time, we don't know who he's accusing of throwing him under the bus. Is it the fans? Is it people in the media? Is it people like myself that make videos? Is it fans online? Is it fans in the stadium? Just giving him a hard time? Because a lot of people, it's not just now, have been saying that Mohamed Salah should be on the bench. So is he accusing us of throwing him under the bus and that we want him out of the club? He also goes on to say, I have done so much for the club down the years and especially last season. Now I'm sitting on the bench and I don't know why. Well, I can tell you why. It's because you've been god awful. You were a player of the season last year. You've been Liverpool's best player in the last decade. But he cannot come out and say he doesn't understand why he's on the bench. This is a guy, even in his worst seasons, gets 19 goals for the club. And yet he's not even close to double figures so far. Arne Slot even gave him a tactic last season to take away his defensive responsibilities. He could stand there looking pretty, work his magic and get the goals and the assists, and we all loved him for it. But if he's not doing up the top end and he's not doing anything defensively, then we are currently playing with 10 men. So I can understand why Mohamed Salah is on the bench, because he's not been good enough. However, if I was Mohamed Salah, I could look around the dressing room and go, well, I'm playing better than you, or I'm definitely better than you. And he's seen some of the players in his position getting game after game when really he isn't the only one that's played bad this season. A lot of them have been dreadful. Apart from Dominic Szoboszlai, I can say every Liverpool player has been below par, whether that's the old players or the new signings. What he should be asking is, he doesn't understand why he's not getting the chance like other players in the team are. Now for Arne Slot, and a lot of people have said as well, Liverpool have been struggling and we need to figure out a way for Liverpool to work with life without Mohamed Salah. He's going away to AFCON very soon, and with this bad run of form, Arne Slot needs to figure out a system and a formation with players involved that work without Salah. So I can see what he's trying to do. When results go against you like they have done, it just piles immense pressure on, and this interview has just doubled down on that massively. And also, I don't think the board were that thrilled to give him the big contract anyway. And after this season, he only has one more year on his contract. So again, there's a good chance Salah will be gone after next season anyway. So we need to plan for life without Mohamed Salah. And I think that's what Arne Slot has tried to do. Because Salah's the megastar, I don't blame him. He does not understand why he's on the bench. He thinks he's the guy that's going to win us games. I think he should have still been given a few chances, at least appearances off the bench in the Sunderland game. Maybe in the Leeds game, but I understand we took a 3-2 lead. But when it went to 2-2, he never even looked close to coming onto the pitch. The quote of him saying, I've done so much for the club over the years, especially last season. Like I said, thank you, Mohamed Salah. You've been the best player for Liverpool in the last decade. But no player is bigger than the club. We need to look at life without you, but that still doesn't mean you should not be playing games for Liverpool at this moment in time. It seems like the club have thrown me under the bus. That is how I am feeling. I think that is very clear that someone wanted me to get all of the blame. So really what he's doing here is victim blaming. He's thinking that someone here wants him out or wants to put the blame on him. I'd be very, very interested to know who that is, whether he is accusing Arne Slot of this. As he's already said, he had a great relationship with Arne Slot, and he's come out saying that relationship has just completely vanished, it's disappeared, and he doesn't understand why. Now, if this is Arne Slot doing this, benching Salah, not playing him to make it look like Salah is the problem, because we've seen this before with managers like Brendan Rodgers trying to victim blame. He got rid of his whole coaching staff the season we did really poor to try and save his job. If this is Arne Slot, which I really, really don't want to believe, then it might be time for him to go, because he's lost all faith in the dressing room. He's got no idea what he's doing. It looks like that on the pitch. With quotes like this coming out, it's making me think off the field stuff is even worse than what we're seeing for the 90 minutes. Salah goes on to say, I got a lot of promises in the summer, and so far I am on the bench for 3 games, so I can't say they have kept the promise. Now, is the promise that he was going to play every game? Notoriously, that's what Mohamed Salah does. Maybe that was part of his contract, because everyone knows he's getting older. He might have had in the contract, maybe not written down, but for word, that he will play every minute like he's done since he joined Liverpool. But I also don't think that Liverpool Football Club are that naive to promise that to any player, because I don't think you can promise any footballer, no matter how great they are, that they're going to play every minute of every game, especially an aging winger. So if it's not game time, then what is the promise that Liverpool Football Club gave to Mohamed Salah, and what is currently being broken in that promise? Is it from the team? Is it from the coaching staff? Is it from the higher ups? I have said many times before that I have a good relationship with the manager, and all of a sudden we don't have a relationship. I don't understand why, but it seems to me, how I see it, that someone doesn't want me in the club. Now, if that is not directed at Arne Slot, then I don't know what is. For it to completely evaporate like it has done just makes me worry that the players have lost complete faith in Arne Slot and what he's trying to get this team to do. Because there's no way we should be going to Leeds, taking a 2-goal lead and then getting drawn back to 2-2. And then after that, even scoring a 3rd goal and then throwing that away. You should not play a game of football, score 3 goals and not win it. The top teams like Arsenal, even the ones currently like Crystal Palace, Sunderland, they're not conceding more than 2 goals a game. I said it in pre-season, you cannot win the league conceding 2 goals a game. Arsenal, even when they're bad, they don't throw away that many goals. It was an awful result for them this weekend against Aston Villa. But it was only 2-1. It was a 90-plus minute winner from Aston Villa. They very nearly went away to Villa, one of the toughest stadiums in the Premier League, and took a point. You're not going to win every game of football, but they still make them competitive, even when they perform under par. They could have easily walked away with a point. They never concede any more than 2 goals a game. But yet we're conceding 3s here, 3s there, 3s everywhere. Nottingham Forest, Man City, PSV was 4, Leeds was 3. There's so many goals being leaked, and we shouldn't have to score 2, 3, 4 goals a game just to try and win a game of football. So I'm concerned that the players have lost faith in him, and with your star man saying this out in the open, massive red flags everywhere. Asked if the relationship with Slot has broken down, he said, yeah, there is no relationship between us. It was a good relationship, and now all of a sudden, there is no relationship. Massive red flags. I said to my family, come to Brighton game. I don't know if I'm going to play or not, but I'm going to enjoy it. In my head, I'm going to enjoy that game because I don't know what is going to happen now. I will be in Anfield to say goodbye to the fans and go to the Africa Cup. I don't know what is going to happen when I am there. Now, this is implying that the game on the weekend against Brighton will be Mohamed Salah's last game for Liverpool, which just absolutely breaks my heart. This is the king, the Egyptian king Mohamed Salah. We may never see him in a Liverpool shirt again if what he's saying is true, that he's had enough. He doesn't want to be sitting on the bench. I don't blame him for that. He wants to move on with his career, go somewhere else where he feels the love again and play football. Now, you can look at this from both sides. We've got the PFA Player of the Season last year, the golden goose in Mohamed Salah, and we can't get a tune out of him this season. And we know his form could have gone from the best in the league to absolutely dreadful like it is currently. So you've got to look at the current coaching staff. You've got to look at Arne Slot. You've got to look at the new signings that we brought in the summer they're not getting the best out of someone who we know is guaranteed success. But if you want to turn this on Mohamed Salah, you can also say, why is he only coming out now to speak? He did this last season with the whole contract situation. He came out when it suits him. This interview has not benefited his teammates, has not benefited the fans, the club, the manager. This has completely thrown all of them under the bus. He did this with the contract situation last year, where he came out and spoke when it suited him, where it put him in a strong position. He scored that winner against Southampton. He then came out in the press and spoke about how he doesn't know where his situation is. He had a great game against Manchester United at Old Trafford, came out to the press saying this might be his last time at Old Trafford, so he's just going to enjoy the season. He's always come out to talk to the press and the fans when it suits him. And again, this is another example of him being quite selfish in this situation, trying to save his own back, whether it's to stay face with the fans saying it's not me, someone's just trying to get rid of me. Whether it's to the club saying, get rid of this manager because he's not picking me and I should be playing because I'm Mohamed Salah. Or we don't really know what the reason could be because he sort of tiptoed around the situation. He just dropped a few Easter eggs here and there and it's left us to speculate. And again, this is not what we should be doing. We should be talking about, oh my God, how great is Isak and Verts playing with Mohamed Salah, Ekitike, we look so good. We're not just going to win the Premier League this season. We're going to go for the Champions League and all the cup competitions. But instead, we look an absolute mess, floating around in mid-table, constantly losing, conceding goals for the fun of it. And I'm sick and tired of watching Liverpool making these videos for you lot and watching us absolutely perform under par. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to talk about. And this here is always going to be mega news because it's a Liverpool Football Club and it's Mohamed Salah making a massive statement like this, throwing the club under the bus, throwing the manager under the bus, putting us in a tough situation as well. I don't like the timing of this from Mohamed Salah. I understand why he's done it because there's a good chance that he will never play for Liverpool again because he's looking at the Brighton game going, this is going to be my last chance to go to Anfield, and it can be the send-off that he feels like he may never get if he doesn't make a statement now. This also might be a chance to get rid of Arne Slot in his eyes if that's the aim of this interview, because otherwise why else would you make it? But I also don't like what Arne Slot and this football club are currently doing. I don't really see a world back for Mohamed Salah unless egos are left at the door, because when you pick between the players and the manager should always win unless the higher ups have had enough and they go, you know what, we can't afford to lose Mohamed Salah, he's guaranteed success. Arne Slot, thank you for last season, but it looks like you don't have a clue and you need to go. So let me know what you think, whether you're on team Mohamed Salah, whether you're on team Arne Slot, or whether you think we should not be picking sides because the Liverpool Football Club is bigger than all of them.